Welcome everyone once again to another of my tutorial. I'm glad to share this with you. What I want to make here is how to get your bootcut palazzo pants trouser. That's what I want to show you guys now on how to how to cut yours. So how to go about it, you need your basic measurements, which is your waist, your hip, your lap, your length, your ankle circumference, and your nail. You need your waist to your nail measurement. So let's go straight to our cutting. But before we do that, I want to terminate this my English line, which I normally call it at this up edge here, so it does not appear when I sew. The rating words does not appear. So what I'm going to do now is to trim this off. So this one can stay because after I've joined my half inch, it will totally terminate this one here. So after I'm done with that, what I do now is to get my full length of my pants trouser. So my full length is 41 plus 2 inches for my sewing allowance. My full length is 41, which I have here, plus 2 inches, making it 43, 41, 42, 43. I come again to this other side to get my measurements. You can see my table is very small, but I'll try to make sure you understand how to go about this. So 41, 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 43. That is what I have at the bottom here. So I'll go ahead to rule it. To the upper part. Now after we are done getting our full length plus our sewing allowance, over to the upper part just like this. So what I'm going to do now is to get my waist measurement, and my waist is 28 divided by 4 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So my 28 divided by 4 will give me 7 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance will give me 8. So I get my 8 from this end here. I get my 8 here. So after I've gotten my 8, then my hip divided by 4. My hip is 38. 38 divided by 4. 38 divided by 4. That is what I will keep as my crush length. So 38 divided by 4 gives me 9.5. So this is my 9.5, which I have here. 9.5, which I have here. And this is for my crush line. So you remember your hip divided by 4. That is what you need to get your crush line. So my crush line is my hip divided by 4. Take note of that. Then what next is to get my waist to my nail is 22. But because of my band, I am going to make it 21. 21 for my waist to my nail. I'm going to make it 21 waist to nail. 21. So you really need these basic measurements to get your pants trouser. So what we are going to do now is the shaping of our trouser, and how to go about it is to get your lap measurements. That is what I'm going to put at the crush line here. Okay, so this is to get our lap measurements now. That's what I'm going to take now. So I want you to take note that from your up part you divide it by 4, but from your crush line downward you divide it by 2. From your waistline to your hip divide it by 4, but from your crush line to your ankle length divide it by 2. So after I got my waist plus my 1 inch for sewing allowance, I come over to my crush line, and my lap here, which is known as thigh or lap, is divided by 2. So my lap which I have is 24. 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. And that is the 12 which I have here now. So this is the 12 that I have here, plus 1.5 inch. 1.5 inch. You can call this as ease, or to get your crush curve. 1.5 inch after getting your full lap measurement, plus 1.5 inch. So after that, you calculate both plus the 1.5 inch all together gives me 13.5. So your 13.5, you're going to divide your 13.5 divided by 2. 13.5 divided by 2 gives me 6.7. So that's 6.7 now. That is what I'm going to put here. 6.75. That's what I'm going to place here. 6.75, which I have here. This is my crush line, my lap divided by 2 plus 1.5. So what I have plus my 1.5 divided by 2, that is what gave me here. So the distance between here and here and here and here is equal. So I have 6.75. That is the same 6.75 I'm going to place at my nail line here now. 6.75 at my nail line here now. So once I have my 6.75 there, I'm going straight to my ankle length. Straight to my ankle length. Let me bring it closer for you to see. So my ankle length now, I'm going to place the same 6.75. 6.75 as you know it, or 6.7. That is the same thing which I have here. So what I'm going to do now is to connect my lines together, and this line is called a gray line. A gray line. This means that you use from this your line to shaping your trouser. This line helps you to get an accurate measurement. Hope you grab what I'm trying to say. This line makes your work easier for you to get an accurate shaped measurement. So after connecting your gray line, make sure you take it up to the crush line, just like this. Take it up to the crush line. So you can see my lines here. So we are going to work with these lines. It is very necessary that you get your lines by doing these calculations. It's very, very easy to go about this. So at my nail line here now, I have my nail measurement. And your nail, how to get your nail measurement, you have to take your nail circumference. Let me say this is my my legs now. As an example, this is my legs now. You take your round nail measurement. You take your nail measurement. I'm just using this as an illustration for you to understand. You get what I'm trying to say. So just make this as your nail measurement now. So what you are going to do now is to get your measurement for your nail. So my nail measurement is 17. The circumference of my nail is 17 divided by 2. So I told you divided by 2. 17 divided by 2 gives me 8.5. And 8.5 now, this is where 8.5 is going to see divided by 2, 8.5, because this fabric is unfold. If you are having 8.5 here, this other one too is 8.5, making it your 17. Hope you grab. So 8.5 now, we're going to divide 8.5 divided by 2. 8.5 divided by 2 gives me 4.2. So 4.2 now, I'm going to place 4.2 here like this, and place another 4.2 here like this. So what I have, once I have my 4.2 here, 4.2 here, making it 8.5 at my nail line. So after we are done with that, because it is a boot cut, as I told you, this is a boot cut measurement which I want to make. So I go over to my ankle measurements now. So my ankle measurement which I have is 24. 24 divided by 2 gives me 12 inches. So 12 inches means this part is going to be 6, and from here to here is going to be 6, making it 12 inches. So I'm going to place 6 inches at this other part and 6 inches at this other part, making it 12. 24 divided by 2, as I told you, from your cross line downward is divided by 2. From your cross line upward is divided by 4. So my ankle line now, 24 divided by 2 gives me 12. 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. So from this your cross line now, here is 6 and here is 6, in total 12 for my ankle. So what you are going to do now is to connect from your nail, just like this. Connect from your nail this way down to your length, to your full length, and come to this other part. You connect it down to your full length. To get your boot cut active, or how will I say it, active or more shaping, you can decide to take your nail to be a bit tighter, not that tight, but a bit tighter for you to be able to walk. But this one is a bit freer than it. So this one, so you can see the shape of our boot cut now. It is unlike the normal palazzo which you can always see or do. So this is how to go about our boot cut. Then you come over to the upper part now. So after we have connected it like that, so from this your nail now, you connect it down to your crush line. So if you have your hip curve, it will help you a lot to go about this. But if you still don't have it, you can still go ahead to do it like this. So connect from your nail to your hip. Then from our crush line, which we have here, is our normal lap measurement plus our 1.5 inch. From this 1.5 inch, connect it down to this your nail mark which you have here. So this is very, very easy to make and very, very nice after making it. So after you have connected it like this, you come ahead to connect from your waist down to this your first crush, your normal crush measurement. But let me cross check my waist measurement to see if it is correct before going ahead to do, so I don't make silly mistakes. So make sure you always cross check on your measurement to make sure you are not cutting it, because anything you cut out cannot be replaced. So what I have here now is 7 inches. So this is correct. 7 inches plus 1 inch for my swing allowance, because this 1 inch for your swing allowance allows you to join the front together by half and join the sides together by half, so it sits at your normal waist measurement. So once after doing that, what you need to do next is to connect it, as I told you, to your actual lap measurement or thigh measurement. So after you have connected it like this down to your thigh measurement, what you are going to do next is to come up by 2 inches from your thigh line. You come up by 2 inches, your 2 inches here. Then you connect it from these 2 inches to get a crush curve. Connect it like this. I'm using my free hand, but if you have your curves, it will still go well. If you don't have your curve, you can still do it just the way I'm doing it. So how to get a female trouser is totally different from the way you get your male trouser, but the formula which I use for this front is the same formula you're going to use, but the back is totally different from the male. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go ahead to cut out what I have already marked out. So going ahead to cut it out just like this. So once I am done cutting out my front now, I'm going to arrange my front to arrange my back to place my front on my back to cut out. So let me go ahead to do the arrangement of my fabric. Okay, so I just placed my front on my back because I want to cut out my back right now. And we need our front to get our back. It is very important. You don't cut your back separately from your front, but you use your front to get your back. So what you need now at this upper hand, you need up to 2 to 2.5 inches for your waist, because you know the back has butt, so that butt, the back is always higher than the front. So this is the back. You need 2 to 2.5 inches. It depends on how big a person is. If the person is big, you need 2.5. If it is small, you need 2 inches. That totally depends on how butty the person is. English. How butty the person is. So what you are going to do now, what makes the female pants different from the male is this upper part. So at this upper part, you are going to come down at this your crotch by 1/2 inch. Come down by 1/2 inch. After you have come down by 1/2 inch, what you're going to do is to get 3 inches from this point. Now you mark 3 inches from this point. Let me bring this backward because I think so. From this point, from this one, you mark 1/2 inch down. From here to here is 3 inches. So your 3 inches now, which you have there now, what you are going to do now is to come in by 1.5 at your waist region for the back. Come in by 1.5, and you are going to take the calculation from this exact measurement down here. You come in by 1. This is my 1.5 which I have here now. 1.5. So then you draw a straight line just like this. Then you extend your lines at this back here now. You extend this line backward just like this. Extend it backward. After you might have extended this line backward, you cross-check what you have at your normal waist measurement plus your sewing allowance for the front, which is 8. So 8 plus sewing allowance for the front is 8, which means your back plus sewing allowance is also 8. But we are still going to add that at the back. So we are going to plus 1 inch for our dart, making it 9 for the back. So from this your point now, place it at this your tip of your point here. This tip ends there. Place it, the measurement, and mark out 9. And this your extended line which you have here now. You mark out 9 here. So this your 9 now. You connect it down to your crotch measurement. Straight down to your crotch measurement. That's how you are going to connect this. So after connecting it like this down to your crotch measurement, then you connect the slanted line just like this down to your waist. You can see the marks here. Connect it down to your waist. And at this point, what we have here now, I'm going to connect from this point down to my lap measurement. Hope you see. So what you need to do now, you just connect from this 3 inches points like this. Let me bring it closely for you to see. So from this 3 inches mark which we have like this, we're going to connect it in like this, inward like this. So you can see, then from this your point, take it to make sure it meets your point here. So once you are done with that, you're going to add your sewing allowance for the back. Sewing allowance for the back is 1.5. So 1.5, that's what you're going to add for your back sewing allowance. So at this point here now, we mark 1.5. Make it a 3-line marking. Here again 1.5. So from this point 1.5, this point 1.5, this point 1.5. Then you connect it from this point down to your exact measurement which you have at your crotch there. So you're just going to connect it like this. So that is that. Then you connect it to make sure it sits at your line for your waist here. So after you're done with this part now, you bring it upward. You bring it upward. Then at your nail measurements, you need 2 inches extension. So you're going to add 2 inches at your nail. From your nail, bring it down 2 inches down to your ankle length. 2 inches down to your ankle length. That is what you need for your measurement. Your ankle length also you need 2 inches. Then you connect them together. So you can see what you connect it to your nail line, then you connect to your crush line. Very easy, very easy to make. Connect it down to your crush line. As much time you go through this tutorial, the more understanding you are going to get. As more time you rewatch this video, the more time you're going to understand. So I'm going ahead to cut my side exactly the same shape, but from my crush line down to the waist, you can see my allowance which I added for both my darts. So from that line, it is going to come higher or separatable. So I'm trying to place my fabric on the right aquilium. English. So this is just it. Go ahead to cut your 2 inches for your sewing allowance for the down part. If you remember, we did not add any sewing allowance at this part from our crush downward, which we have the 2 inches for sewing out, the 2 inches for how will I say it? From when we cut up to our front, we did not include any sewing allowance. So that 2 inches now will pay for the sewing allowance and all and everything. So just go ahead to mark just like this. Mark from this your 1.5 inch sewing allowance, which we kept for the back. So this is it, and that is that. So right now we are done with the cutting of our both the front part and the back parts of our bootcut palazzo. So you can see how the shape looks like out to the down part. You can see how it looks like. Then what next we are going to do is to cut out our pocket, and how to go about the cutting of our pocket. This is a female pocket, and I'm going to show you how to go about this. This is a female pocket, and I'm still going to show you how to cut a male pocket, but that will be on another class. So how to cut your female pocket now. Our pocket is supposed to be 7 inches by length, but because of what we are going to do now, we are going to make it 6.5, because we are still going to take away ½ inch for our sewing of the pocket, making it in total 7 inches. Then at this part here now, at the width part here now, it is supposed to be 2.5, but we are going to make it 2, because after sewing your ½ inch, it is going to sit at 2.5. So the calculation is very simple and easy. So you just go ahead to give it a curve like this. You should remember this is your side. This is your side. Give it a curve like this, and this is this, and that is that. Go ahead to cut it with your curve like this. So this is it for the pocket for the front. So for the back now, I told you we are going to place that allowance. We have our dart allowance, which we are going to. So what we are going to do now for the back is to place it in 2. So from this our line which we have here, I'm going to place it exactly at my 1.5 inches, which I kept for my sewing allowance. Remember, I kept no from here to here is my 1.5 for sewing allowance. It is going to be at that line here. So this is my sewing allowance. So at this line here, you go ahead to notch just like this. So from like this now, you can use your iron to iron it straight like this, because the amount of sewing which you are going to sew for your dart will be 5 inches. That is the length of your sewing for your dart. So you know how to sew your dart, right? So let me say from here to here is 4.7. Come down by 4.7 at this point here now. Connect it down to this dart now, just like this. 4.7, 4.7, 4.7. And at this point now, I'm going to take ½ inch this other way and ½ inch this other way, and connect it down to your 5 inches. Let me see, 5 inches. Connect it down to your 5 inches. That just the way you're going to sew it. Connect it down to your 5 inches like this and like this. So you see, so when it is unfold like this, you're going to sew here. Anything that makes you to place it like this and sew, you are totally meeting the other ½ inch together. So that is how to go about your sewing of your dart. So you can go ahead to sew your dart. And for your pocket, let me bring a fabric out to cut out your pockets for you to understand how to go about the cutting of our pocket also. So over to the pocket part now. That is what we want to do now. So to get our pocket now, we need it to be 6 inches at a width. So the width of our pocket should be 6 inches. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm bringing it closely to sit at that 6 inches. So make sure it is at your 6 inches at a width. And your length of your pocket should be 13 inches at a length. 13. You can also make it 12, but I always go for 13. It makes it deep. If you make yours 13 and discover that it is too deep, then you can decide to reduce it. The next one you want to make, you can decide to reduce it. So for this tutorial now, I am going by 13 inches for the depth of our pocket. So that is what I'm doing now. So this is our 6 inches that I told you for the width of the pocket. 6 inches for the width. So go ahead to cut it out. This is one piece. As you may know, you need 2 pieces for your pocket to be at the side. You need 2 pieces. So this is what I'm doing now to cut out the other piece of the pocket. So this is it, cutting out the other piece of our pocket, trying to make this video. I hope it is explained and easy for you to understand. Please, if you don't understand what I just did here, please and please and please, I'm not talking to myself, go ahead and tell me that you don't understand, and I will look for a way to come back with a paper illustration for you to understand better. Because I'm not talking to myself, but talking to you guys, my awesome people. You know, you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Talking to you is a pleasure talking to you guys. So at this point now, make sure what you have here is your 2 inches which you cut out. Hope you saw what I just did now. I opened it on full. It was 6 inches like this. I opened it and placed right side facing right side. This is the right side of my fabric and this is the wrong side. This is the right side of my fabric and this is the wrong side. So I just place it open like this. Make sure it is at this your 6th length, not this other way around. It is this your 6th length that you are doing. So open it like this. Then place your side front on it like this. So place it like this. Make sure this is at your, so this is the 2 inches which I have here now, and the depth of 6.5 which I have here also. So what I'm going to do next is to cut exactly the same shape out just like this. So we have cut out both the front and the back. So let me go ahead to show you on how to fix your pocket, as I fix one pocket for you to see how to go about it, so you'll be able to fix the other one for yourself. So how to fix your pocket, it goes like this. How to fix your pocket: you place your right side facing right side for your pocket. You place your right side facing right side. Then you go ahead to sew by ½ inch down to this end. So let me go ahead to do that with the process of showing you how to do it. So after you've sewn it like this, what you need to do next is to notch. Make sure you notch it like this. Give it a notch. Don't cut through your fabric, just give it a notch like that. Then at this your pocket now, what you need to do now is to top stitch it. You are going to sew on your pocket line, not on your main side, but on your pocket line. Going to sew it. And at this part, I forgot to shape my down part for this part. So let me go ahead to do this, and I'll show you the other pocket on how to go about this. Maybe you might be confused on how I'm doing this, but I'm going to show you the other one. So this is the other one which I told you I want to show you it. So you can see just like this. I forgot to shape in the down part to give it my pocket curve. As you may know, just go ahead to give it a curve like this. Not a big deal, just like this. So that is what I just did for the other part. So go ahead, after doing that, I will go ahead to top stitch it, then come back to you. This is very easy to make. So I have just top stitched my pocket, as I told you, top stitch that part. So what I'm going to do now, make sure you iron it when you fold it like this. Make sure you give it a good press to make it relax. So just like this. So what you are supposed to have at this up will now be 2.5, or you can in total take your measurement. So what I'm supposed to have here is 8. So that is 8, which I have here now. That I'm supposed to have here now for my waist is 8. So that is what I have here. So this makes me to know that my waist is okay, plus my sewing allowance is okay. So what you are going to do now is to run. You can go ahead to pin down so it does not move. You can go ahead to sew here now, sew it down like this. Then at this bottom, you sew it like this down to this end. Then you close. You can go ahead to interlock it after you have sewn, so it does not look rough. Go ahead to do that. So let me go ahead to do that quickly for you to see. It is very easy to make this pocket. So yup, we are done with the pockets. As you can see, I'm done with the pockets. Time to interlock or you serge it. So it is very easy to make your female pockets than the male. The male is also very easy, but the female is easier than the male. So just like this, I'm done with this. So I go over to the back. So that's the same way you're going to do for the other side of your pocket. Then for your back, your dart for the back, as I told you, what you need to do for the dart of your back is to just sew it like this. So you can see the notch which I gave. Just place it like this and sew your 5 inches from this up down, your ½ inch, sew it down to your 5 inches. So let me go ahead to do that. So as I told you, I have sewn it already. I have sewn my dart, so this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So you can go ahead to iron it to your side, sprinkle water and iron it. I just want to be fast about this. Then this is your front. Just place your front on your back, just like this. You can see it's clear. This is your front that has the pocket, and this is your back that has the dart. So what you're going to do now is to run ½ inch. You know, I kept ½ inch for my sewing allowance. So you're going to run your ½ inch downward. Make sure you serge your fabric, please. Make sure you serge or interlock your fabric. Make sure you weave it for it to be neat, please. Okay, so I have joined both sides together. So exactly the way I did with this one, that is how you are going to do for the other parts of your fabric. So this is it. Okay, so you can either put your zipper at the front, side, or the back. But for the purpose of this video, I want to put my zip at the side. So what you need to do now, after joining your front and back, what you need to do now is to place your right side facing right side. You can see we have been sewing on the wrong side of our fabric. Place your right side facing right side, just like this. You can sew the two. You can see the front here and the back here. So what you need to do now is to sew your half inch, which I kept for sewing allowance from the front. Right, to sew your half inch downward. Then after you have done that, go ahead to place your tape from where you sewed downward to cross check your waist measurement. Hope you see. So what I have here now is my 38, sorry, which I already have. After sewing my half, I have not sewn it yet, but based on what you can see here now, I have not sewn it yet, but from what we can see here now, after sewing it, it slaps at my 28. So this is my 1.5 inch of my sewing allowance, in case the person decides to expand it when the time comes or any time from now. So I'll go ahead to sew it down by half, then sew it downward, and I'll come back to show you on what to do next. So I have gone ahead to sew my half inch down, and sew. After taking my measurements, I sewed down also. So once you have done with that, this is what you do again. Then turn it like this. So this is the front. You can see my two front now is now facing me. The two fronts now is now facing me. So what I'm going to do now is to sew half inch from here downward, half inch from here downward, half inch. So let me go ahead to sew it, then come back to show you. Okay, so this is it here. I've gone ahead to sew it downward. So the only part that is remaining now is for you to put your zip at the side, put your waistband, and fold the down part of your trouser. And I'm sorry, but this is where I want to call it a day on how to cut and sew your palazzo or your boot cut pants palazzo. So just trying to turn it out for you to see how it looks. It is going to be amazing. I'll go ahead to show you a short video or a picture of what we have been making. So this is how to go about this, and this is how to go about that. So I want to say thank you everyone for stopping by to learn. So see you again in another class. Stay safe and remain blessed.